Hey, what's up guys, Jaeky here. Today we're going to be remodding my Wooting 60HE to fit a black minimalistic aesthetic. If you guys remember a while ago, I actually modded my Wooting 60HE with a white tofu redux case as well as some white keycaps. And then recently I took that all apart and put it back in the stock case because I was switching my setup to sort of like a black theme. And so today I decided I would remod my Wooting and go with that black aesthetic. So I ordered a tofu 60 redux case in black as well as some black blank keycaps as well. So we're just going to be going through the modding process once again and completely modding the Wooting 60HE. Starting with that, we first of course have to take off the keycaps. And recently I actually made a video where I swapped out these switches on my Wooting 60HE to some Gateron Jade Pros. And in my opinion, if you guys are looking to mod your Wooting 60HE but you don't want to go all out, the first thing that I would highly recommend you do is definitely swap out these switches. The stock lacquer switches are decent, but they're definitely not as good as something third party like the Magnetic Jade Pros from Gateron, especially if the Jade Pros are lubed well. They just sound way better than the stock lacquer switches. So if you guys are just looking for one thing to mod on your Wooting, I would definitely recommend swapping out these switches first and foremost. But yeah, this isn't really a modding guide. I'm sure there's tons of guides out there on YouTube that you can watch that show you how to mod a Wooting 60HE. But basically, you just want to take off the keycaps here, and then you just want to unscrew the 5 screws, I would think it is, that are holding down the plate and PCB to the case. And then the plate and PCB will just pop out very easily. If you're swapping out the switches, then you have to unscrew a couple more screws on the back of the PCB to separate the plate from the PCB. This makes it a lot easier to take the switches out. And then if you're swapping out the switches, you put that all back together and then you just screw it into the new case. So this is again the Tofu 60 Redux case, which fits the Wooting 60HE pretty much perfectly. I of course got it in the anodized black color because again, we are going for that full black aesthetic, but they have a bunch of different colors for the Tofu Redux so that you can really fit it to your whole setup. You can also add extra stuff like the internal brass weight bar, and you can also add magnetic jade switches straight from the KBD Fans website as well. And if you want, you can also swap out the plate for the Wooting 60HE, but that's not something that I went for. I also opted not to get the brass weight this time around. Before I did get it with the white case, but for the black case, I decided not to. To assemble everything in the new case was super simple. All I had to do was install this one standoff on the bottom screw here, just because that spot isn't tall enough. So you do need one standoff on the bottom there if you are putting a 60HE in here. As for the foam, you can actually just reuse the foam from the Wooting 60HE case. You just rip off the top layer and then you use the foam that the Wooting 60HE comes with. The foam that comes with the Tofu Redux is a little bit too thin and won't really help dampen the sound that much, but I find that these foam from the Wooting 60HE is a lot thicker and better, so I use that instead. And then once you put the plate and PCB in, it lines up perfectly with the USB-C hole, so there's really no issue in terms of compatibility there. But yeah, after that, you just literally put it in, line up the screw holes, and then screw it in, and everything fits together very easily. And of course, after everything is screwed in, you just want to put on the keycaps. So here I am putting on the keycaps. These are some black blank keycaps that I got from Amazon. They are PBT and the quality is actually pretty nice on these. You can see here that they are quite thick. So yeah, I definitely do recommend these keycaps. If you guys want to check them out, I'll leave a link to them in the description below. They come in a bunch of different colors too, not just black. So if you're looking for some nice blank keycaps, then I would highly recommend these. But yeah, guys, here is the completed look of the black minimalistic Wooting 60HE. I love the way this turned out, and honestly, I could not be happier with the way it looks. I think the blank keycaps on top of the black Tofu Redux case just looks really elegant and sleek, and I'm glad I did it. It makes the board feel a lot more premium, of course, and just overall enhances the feeling of the Wooting 60HE. But yeah, guys, now let's get into the sound test. This is going to be a before and after of the stock Wooting case versus the metal Tofu Redux case. The switches in both sound tests are the Magnetic Jade Pros. The only difference here is going to be the keycaps as well as the case. So overall, the cost to mod the Wooting 60HE, not including the 60HE cost itself, it was around $60 USD for the case, $50 USD for the switches. I got my Magnetic Jade Pro switches sent out to me by Electfox, and they are going for $50 USD on their website for 70 pieces, which is more than enough for a Wooting 60HE. And the keycaps were around $28 USD from Amazon, which brings the total cost of modding the keyboard to around $138 USD. That's not including shipping. I think shipping on top of that for me was around like $30 for shipping, so around $168, let's just call it $170 around there to fully mod the Wooting 60HE. But yeah guys, that's pretty much it. That is the modded Wooting 60HE with the black aesthetic. I think it's definitely worth fully modding your Wooting 60HE if you have the extra money to spare. Definitely makes it a more premium typing experience and makes the sound a lot better as well. If you guys aren't looking to go full out, a good first step is to just swap out the switches. That definitely enhances the overall feel and typing experience of the board without having to break the bank. But if you guys are interested in any of the parts that I used today in this video, I will have them all linked in the description below so that you guys can check it out. And that's pretty much it guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Peace. Flower.
I'm flanking the flanky.
Wait, I'm just gonna...
One enemy remaining.
What the fuck?
Like,
What
maybe.
the fuck?
What the fuck? What the?
Enemy kill.
Good one.
Be faster.
Nice.
Good fight.
One enemy remaining.
Nice.
Got my one. Got my two.
I heard him having.
Okay.